You have found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls, and today we're going to talk about, should DeMar DeRozan shoot more threes? JeVon Carter season preview as well today, and should the Bulls extend Patrick Willians now before his value potentially goes up? We're going to get to all that and more right after this.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, a member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. That's Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls and Chicago Bears Central. Pat, let's go ahead and get into it, man. First of all, hey, man, I'm not going to lie to you. This is why I don't rock curved bill hats, bro. I really look like I'm about to rob somebody right now. All jokes aside, bro. Like, if Bulls gearing on, like, hey, man, run me them pockets. Like, I'm sure nobody would even doubt it, bro.
Not going to lie. The half white side is definitely showing with the curved bill. You look like you might walk up on somebody and be like, man, give me your money. Like, wait a minute.
With that said, Pat, man, I also want to tell you guys, today's episode is brought to you by Jase Medical. Empower yourself when you purchase a Jase case, providing you with a personal supply of 5 antibiotics that treat 50-plus infections. Get yours today at jasemedical.com. That's JASE medical.com. Pat, man, lots surrounds DeMar DeRozan. Questions with how he's going to perform this season. One of the things that the Chicago Bulls are trying to do is trying to up their three-point shooting percentage. And the question that we have now, should DeMar DeRozan be shooting more threes? As somebody who's going to have the ball in their hands probably the most of anybody in that starting lineup. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, listen, this is a point that you pointed out to me that I think actually stunned me, right? When you look at DeMar's game-by-game numbers, anytime he takes more than like 3 3-pointers, this man's elite.
Yeah.
3 or more, as you start to go through DeMar's numbers, right? Now, 2 and under, he'd be missing. 3 or more, you start to go through the numbers, 2 for 3, 3 for 3, 2 for 3. For some reason in this game, he took 6 3-pointers. 4 for 6. You know what I mean? And so it speaks to, yes, he probably should because the numbers are telling you that he should. But it's just about kind of how that fits in the offense. And is that something that's going to be, if he takes it more consistent, stick around on a consistent basis? I think right now with the Bulls team that we've currently constructed, I think you, as surprisingly as it sounds, you actually have enough 3-point shooters on this team. You just have to have them actually letting the ball fly, right? JeVon Carter is an above 40% 3-point shooter. Patrick Willians is an above 40% 3-point shooter. I think Torrey Craig was 39% last season, even though that was an outlier year for him. Hopefully he can maintain that 3-point shooting. Zach LaVine, we know.
Solid throughout his career, right? Not great, but solid, right?
I don't know. Torrey Craig has some bad numbers. Torrey Craig shot like 31% one season.
Okay, yeah.
Like he got some bad 3-point percentages out there too. So last season was really like, that's when I see like Muggs be like, well, he could be a 3-and-D guy. I was like, I got to see it again.
Okay, but he's been solid the last handful of years. Not the volume being high, but when you look at his last 3 years, for example, 2.7 threes per game, 33%, 3.6, 32%, 3.2, 39%, and he's a 34% shooter for his career. Like I said, not great, but at least if it's a wide open 3, you can trust that he's going to take it and probably make it.
I hope. Right? Like, that's really, you know what I mean? I hope. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Confidence.
Positivity, bro.
Positivity. I love it. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. But, I think that you have enough 3-point shooting on this team that I don't need to see DeMar DeRozan taking more 3-pointers, but I wouldn't be opposed to it because as I just said, right, when we see the numbers with the volume that he's taking, he's knocking them down at least the last couple of seasons. I think that that's something that speaks to what DeMar is, but I also don't want DeMar to go out there and change his entire game at 34 years old. Right? Like maybe it works out for him if he does the Rondo thing, right? What Rondo says, he's like, I started looking around the league and I was like, well, they letting him shoot 3-pointers. I want to shoot some too. Right? So like maybe it ends up working out for DeMar in that aspect, but I don't need you to go change the game when the quote that he said that I find it's just a boss quote. There's only 38 people that have scored more points than me in NBA history.
That's a mic drop quote right there, bro. Like, you can talk about anything. Like, we talked about this a little bit before we started recording. He's going to pass Larry Bird on the all-time scoring list this year.
Bro, he's 27 points behind Stephen Curry.
That's crazy, bro.
And he's what did we say? He's 57 points or 70 points, something like that, behind Chris Paul. Like, he's not like DeMar DeRozan is one of the most elite scorers in NBA history.
NBA history. And that's without having any real threat at 3-point shooting. Yeah. That's crazy.
It is. And I guess here's the question that I have for you, right? Do you want to see him take it just so the Bulls' average goes up? The Bulls were dead last in 3-point attempts last season at 28.9.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to see him take more just so that the Bulls are starting to get into that modern era of, yes, the percentage may not be great, but we're trying to make them, we're taking more of them, and it puts you in that mindset?
No, only because, and I did the numbers on this because I did this over on a Chicago Bulls Central episode, not even taking Torrey Craig's last year, right? But if you add Torrey Craig and JeVon Carter's average 3-point attempts per game for their career and add that to the Chicago Bulls, it literally takes them from the bottom to the top 10 or 12 in the NBA in 3-point shots attempts. So that modernizes your offense. I just want to see DeMar, when the defense sags off, for him to jade in their face at that point. That's what I want to see him do. I don't need him to come in and try to prove they can shoot threes. It's just when the defense decides to, oh no, we're going to pack it in because we know DeMar's going to try to get to one of those elbows in the mid-range. I just want to see him say, bet, don't even worry about it. I got this for you, and take the three at that point in time.
And we know DeMar's not going to pass out of that shot anyway. So, I mean, worst case scenario, right? Like, let's be 100% honest. We know what's going on here. Right, DeMar's going to get that elbow. There's going to be 3 dudes around him. He's going to pump fake 17 times, step through, lay. Like, how do you just make that? I don't know. We had a wide open dude in the corner. It was JeVon Carter. No, I'm kind of with you there. I just think that, right, like, I guess the question is, if you want anybody to change the mindset of shooting on your team, DeMar DeRozan is probably the person that can do it because we know he's the person that's least afraid to let that mug fly. I think there's a lot of people on the team that are like hesitant to let it fly.
This is true. I mean, we know DeMar's not. And here's what I say. We saw DeMar start taking a little bit more threes after Pat Bev got here. We keep going to post All-Star break because a lot of things did change for the Chicago Bulls post All-Star break. So I do think that, with having now JeVon Carter there to start the season, we could see that naturally anyway. And, if we do, hats off to DeMar, man. I think I trust DeMar to be DeMar. That's all that comes down to. I just need DeMar to be DeMar, and we'll worry about where all that shakes out at that point in time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing, right? You don't want to change his game because you know what his game is, and you know that his game can go out there and be a bucket.
So I just verified. So with JeVon Carter and Torrey Craig shooting, the Bulls would have moved from 30th in attempts per game. Again, we're not talking about percentage. They would have moved from that to 11th per game last season. That's adding. That's why I always say the Bulls improved on the margins, because that is drastically changing your offense when you look at that. So
how do you get those in the system though? Right? I think that's the thing. Like, Torrey Craig gets those if he's in the spot P. Will's in.
True. But I think also what we've seen, you've talked about this, bro. Like, one thing that Billy Donovan's offense has done is generate open three-point shots.
Yeah, we just haven't had a lot of Andre Robersons in that spot.
we haven't seen it even on the Bulls, right? Like, to his credit, like, Patrick Willians took a lot last year, but he still passed up on some. Yeah. Javonte Green, I love Javonte. He passed up on some. He took him more at P. Will at that point in time, but he passed up on some. Io passed up on some, right? Even when the ones that he did take didn't hit him at a good percentage. So I'm looking at, it's not going to be a huge change, I think, to the system. I just think we're going to have players that are more willing to take those open threes. Yeah. And if they hit them at a decent clip, we'll see that evolution for the Bulls.
Let's hope so, man, because you want to see them just get to a point where it's like, okay, welcome to the modern NBA. We thought that we were there, but then you start looking at it and you're like, okay, wait a minute, this looks like Tom Thibodeau's team now. Like, they're not shooting threes. They're elite at defense, but like the defense doesn't feel as elite when it's crunch time. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a Tom Thibodeau team. I don't know. I'm fine with DeMar being who he is. And it's pretty dope that DeMar DeRozan knows exactly where he's at on the all-time scoring.
Hey, listen, DeMar looks at it and he's like, bet we passing Bird tonight. Like, you just know DeMar is like, yeah, DeMar's a petty guy. So
how far does he get up the list this year? Just past Larry?
Where's Larry at? What's the number Larry's at?
Let's see. I had to figure out what the heck I was looking up there for a second. Larry right now is at, okay, why did it bring up this list? I hate when it does this.
You're not on NBA.com, are you?
No, we're not on NBA.com. I know to stay away from there. Dang, it didn't even take me far enough down.
All right, I got it up. So DeMar right now, is...
Now I'm on NBA.com.
DeMar right now is
38th.
He's 39th. 39th now. Like you said, he's only 27 something behind Steph Curry. I say, hell, honestly,
he'll probably only pass Larry. He's not passing Gary.
No, bro. You got to look at it. So, how many points did DeMar score last season? Because he's scoring over 1,000 points this year.
Oh,
and
wait.
If he does,
see, that's the problem. I went to NBA.com. They got it out of order. What the heck? Why NBA.com?
Because they don't care. They don't care,
bro?
It's only the league's website.
Why, bro? Like, that don't even make sense. I'm looking up the all-time scoring list. You go give me these dudes out of order based on percentage. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Represent the league better. Jesus.
Hey, the league got to fix their statisticians.
That's horrible, bro.
Like, how can you be the league and it's terrible, bro? It's like the NBA's website for stats is literally god awful. So DeMar DeRozan scored 1,800 points last season. So
right.
if he keeps the season before that, he scored almost 300 points more. That's crazy. So I'm saying DeMar is going to move from being 38th to, I think he can get up to about 35th this year.
He passed Gary.
I think he passes Gary this year.
So that means Steph and whatchamacallit are probably moving past Clyde and Elgin.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. We're going to have a whole different NBA history moving forward. Let's do the ad read. Russ is up there too. Russ 27.
Yeah, but Russ ain't scoring too much no more. Oh, with that said, let's go ahead and get into
He going to pass Ray?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll pass Ray.
Russ going to pass Ray. He going to James gonna play. My bad.
We'll be talking about and doing our season preview for JeVon Carter next. Before we do that, I got to talk to you guys about our sponsor, and that is Jase Medical. Everyone should be empowered to care for themselves and their loved ones during the unexpected. That's why Jase Medical offers the Jase Case. The Jase Case provides 5 life-saving antibiotics for emergency use and gives you a peace of mind so that you are not just hoping that you have access to medication in a case of emergency. Jase Medicals make sure you have medication in hand. Jase Medical is simple. They handle everything from the online evaluation to licensed pharmacy medication delivery and ongoing consultation and care. So don't get caught unprepared. Get $20 off these life-saving antibiotics today with Jase Medical by using my code LOCKEDON at checkout on jasemedical.com. That's JASE medical.com. All right, Pat. So continuing our player previews and profiles, we've now reached JeVon Carter. Now, this is a new free agent acquisition by the Chicago Bulls. Probably is going to be the starting point guard. What are you expecting from JeVon Carter this upcoming season?
I mean, I think pretty much what we talked about, right? Being that 3-point threat and being an absolute dog on the defensive end. That's what he's been in his entire career. And I think that, listen, all Bulls fans said, right, was like, what we had in the second half of the season was exactly what we were looking for. We finally got that Pat Bev point guard, the voice, all of that, right, to come in and be the guy that separates the team offensively and puts guys in the right position, all of that, right? Pat Bev didn't do nothing crazy here. He basically just told Zach LaVine shoot the basketball and told DeMar shoot a little less.
And told Vooch to get to where I need.
Told Vooch get in your spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I hope JeVon Carter comes in with that exact same energy, but 40% from 3. Come in and be Pat Bev, but 40% from 3. That's all I'm looking for from you. Be Patrick Beverly, but 40% from 3. Put that on a t-shirt. Because realistically, that was the Bulls team that had us all of a sudden like, oh, snap. we might actually make the playoffs. We might, right? Like, and of course they fall short. We know how it ends. They take Drummond out, take Kobe out, blah, blah, blah. I think bad coaching decision in that moment. I don't blame Pat Bev for that, but I look at what Pat Bev did on this team. I mean, the games where he was able to knock down the 3-ball, first off, we were running teams out of the building. Yeah. We literally ran Dallas and Miami out of the building. Yeah, with Pat Bev hitting threes.
Yeah.
Now I think Dallas didn't have anybody playing, if I'm not mistaken, on that one. I think I think Dallas might have
set him in the second half. Was that what it was?
I think Dallas. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. They played Luka. So get ready for a lot of that this season. Everybody in the NBA that is not a Bulls fan. But yeah, they basically sat everybody in the second half and was like, we give up. So, but yeah, any game where Pat Bev was able to knock down threes or running teams out of the water offensively, do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love how you put it there. Like, if he is Pat Bev with a 3-point shot, 40% from three, what more could you want? And that's not even, we didn't even mention his defensive versatility, right? Great point of attack defender. Not as versatile as Lonzo, but he can guard 1s, 2s, and some 3s, depending on who's lined up there. I think JeVon Carter just needs to come in and be him. And he needs to also come in and bring the Chicago edge to the Chicago Bulls, because we're still a team that needs an identity. And hopefully they're forging that now in training camp and things that they're doing. But like, JeVon Carter just needs to come be him. A player that's always played with other ball dominant players, so he understands how to get his and be efficient even with that. That's everything that we need on this team.
Here's the question, right, that I think a lot of Bulls fans have with JeVon Carter, though, because the thing that Pat Bev kind of brought was everybody in position and being that vocal leader. Is that JeVon? And I don't know if that's him. I don't.
Here's the thing, and I agree with you. While he's not a vocal locker, just like Lonzo isn't a vocal locker room guy, Lonzo was vocal on the court, though. And I don't even need him to be like, hey, I'm about to yell at you. I just need him to call out what the offense is doing. Yeah. That's it. That's all I need.
Well, I think it's tough, right? Because the difference is the team he came from, yes, he didn't have to be that there. But who gonna say something to Giannis? Who gonna say something to Brook Lopez crazy stuff? You know what I mean?
Believe me, Drew Holiday does not back down from saying stuff to Giannis. Have you ever Drew Holiday?
But again, who gonna say stuff? Right? You have those guys. We don't have them. That's the part where you're like, can JeVon be that? Because if not, realistically, who are the guys that we talk about possibly being that dude? Dalen Terry. You know what I mean? Right? Maybe Julian Phillips. Right? We talk about rookies. Andre Drummond. We talk about, he basically an old rookie at this point. Andre Drummond just don't age. Shout out to Drum out here. Shout out to Drum, bro. This man been 29 for 13 years. I hope
we sign him as well, too. Like, I want to see Drum stay here for a while, man. I like Drum.
I do like Drum, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I hated Drum when he was on the Pistons, bro. But now that he's here, like, I've actually seen and learned more of his personality. I really do like Drum.
I hate Drum when Drum think he a hooper, though.
Yeah, facts.
Like, Drum is an elite basketball player, but he be thinking he a hooper. He'll be like, hey, Drum, listen, you can't Euro step finger roll leg, bro. Like, come on, bro. We don't need
you can do that in the offseason. Go to the programs and do that, bro.
And the problem is his game is like golf. He hit one every 4 shots, and it make him feel like he could just keep it going, bro. Every now and then, he get that one where he do an up and under wraparound like a point guard. You know what I'm worried about?
You remember last preseason when Drum went off from 3?
Bro, hey, listen, I told y'all. If Andre Drummond can perfect the 3-ball, his career's back. We're going to have to pay him a lot of money.
If Drum somehow has like a Torrey Craig season where it's like all of a sudden Drum is like going. Drum didn't even have to go 39%. If Andre Drummond takes 2 3-pointers a game and hits that at a 32% clip for a season, he's back. He's back.
But you know what's crazy, right? I think that tells you so much what the NBA is. And I don't know if you saw Jabari Parker's comments today about how the league is. Listen, it's a bad look. It's a bad look, right? But at the basis of what he's saying is they basically tell you this is the player that you're going to be, which is true. That is what the NBA do. Evan Turner, Andre Iguodala was just talking about that on the Old Man at 3. If somebody finally told Drummond it's okay for you to shoot these shots, because that's the only reason he don't take them. You already know that. He ain't got no problem doing the Euro step. Only reason he don't take them is because he know he'll never come off the bench again.
ever, especially with Billy Donovan.
No, he'll never see the floor again. He'll be like, "I'll put Javon. We go sign Javonte."
Hey, I was on
Javonte. He in the building already.
I was on C-Red UK today, and they actually had a really good theory about that. They said, because much like us, they noticed that Javon is always around the team. Their theory was, all right, what if they are keeping Javon around because they have the wink deal? Javonte around, that they have the wink deal, that as soon as he is fully healed, they're going to cut Carlik and bring Javonte Green back.
I mean, I guess, but like, what you sticking around for? Like,
what? Why he ain't gonna move? He's in Chicago in now,
right? Definitely.
He's in Chicago in now.
He on the Kendall Gill. Although I finally figured out, I never realized that. Maybe it's just dumb on me that Kendall Gill grew up in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
I never paid attention. I was like, why the heck is he here? What's he doing here? He played like 60 games here. No, I'm like, but no, I just I'm not mad at that actually. But can we give Carlik a shot? Can Carlik do anything, bro? Like that, he can't. He go over there and cook and fever, and he not gonna get no opportunity here, bro.
No.
Maybe Carlik can be the vocal leader.
First of all, you can't take nobody with a slope head seriously, because the moment he's going off, I'm just gonna be like, "What's happening here, bro? How's your head slope? Not even your alignment."
That's why Tristan Thompson didn't work here. It was just Io just.
That's
Io just looking straight up. That was one of the funniest things.
over there giving a passionate.
You gotta fight.
Yeah. And Io's just like,
I need it. Io, close your mouth.
Would you shut up?
Close your mouth, Io. Could you close your mouth, please?
He can't. He literally can't. He can't breathe out his nose. His nostrils don't work.
I know that. I know that pain. I got terrible sinuses, brother. I ain't even gonna joke about that one.
Deviated.
Them ain't even jokes.
We want to remind you guys that Locked On Bulls is free available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube and the Odyssey app. Let's get into this last topic, Pat. So right now we know that the Bulls can, depending on people hitting certain parameters, you can get an extension up to $100 million. The question is that was presented is, should the Bulls go ahead and extend P. Will? Because I think we all know that P. Will's getting extended, right? Do you agree with that? That P. Will, regardless, is getting extended? I
think pretty much, yeah. I'm on board with that.
Yeah. So should they go ahead and try to extend him now before maybe he does make that step, right? And garners more money? Should they do that now, or should you just wait? Let him play it out.
Let him play it out.
Okay.
Because I think the upside is something you're willing to pay for. If he stays the same, you're saving a tremendous amount of money. Because if he stays the same, he's not even getting the 64, right? What is it, 64 over 4 that he can get or something like that? If he stays the same player that he is right now, you're basically like, hey, bro, like I got Kobe White money for you. I got a solid $10 million a year for the next 3 for you.
Yeah.
Because then you're just like, okay, you're literally just a role player on this team.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe, right, like, I guess there's some people out there who still hold, I don't know if you are, who still hold out that he might be what they thought he was coming out of high school. I don't have that hope. My hope right now is for you to be a serviceable player. Serviceable player can be an 18-point per game player. I'm paying an 18-point per game player $20 million a year.
Game's a little bit more than serviceable, my guy.
I mean, listen.
Come on, that's a little bit. Give him a little credit. It's a little bit more than
18 points per game, bro. I bet you it's dudes that average 18
points per game. As a fourth option?
I bet you it's dudes that average 18 points a game in this league right now. You just be like, okay, yeah. Can't think of none right now, but
exactly.
I gotta pull up the list of the 18-point per game guys. I don't know. I don't even know how to do that. Like, what do you type in for that? Top scorers in the NBA, I guess, and just see how far down the list it takes you. Like 18 points per game, I feel like you're like, okay, you're a little bit better than just a serviceable role player. You know what I mean? Like that's the $20 million we talking about a year. I'm willing to give P. Will that if you turn into that guy.
Yep, I agree.
So I would wait on it personally, but I guess, I actually found the list. All right, let's see. 18 points per game. Jaren Jackson Jr.
More than serviceable.
For how long?
For a while. Come on.
for a solid 3.5 quarters is what I'm saying. Franz Wagner.
As long as it's not FIBA play, right? Go ahead.
Franz Wagner.
More than
I give you more than serviceable. DeAndre Ayton.
More than serviceable. He's more serviceable is a strong word, bro. He's more than serviceable.
Miles Turner. There's only 4 dudes in the NBA that average 18 points per game.
That's crazy.
And then, well, I guess, right, we have Vooch was 17.6.
17, and Vooch is more than serviceable.
Vooch is more than serviceable. Okay, I get you that.
Now, I will give you some of these guys are serviceable. Gary Trent Jr., 17.4 points per game.
Yeah.
Norman Powell, 17 points per game.
I'm telling you, bro, here's the funny thing. It's literally just that 1 point. That's the difference in your career could be a point or 2, bro. Like, you go from being a dude to being more than serviceable.
Damn, Jaden Ivey averaged 16.3. Shout out to Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey was the only option on that team for a while.
That's true as well.
Everybody else was dead. But yeah, man, I think that if P. Will does that, you're fine with going out there and paying him the $20 million. I'd wait on it.
Okay, fair. I mean, the thing that I look at it is this, right? Is that I don't think that it's not like I never think they're going to sign P. Will for the least amount that he can get, where it's like still a little bit of a raise anyway.
I think they like him more than that.
Exactly, and the thing is that P. Will's potential is still higher, even higher than that. So, like, if P. Will turns into a guy getting paid $20 million a season, but is giving you really good defense on top of, like you said, 16 to 18 points per game at some point in that contract, that's not a bad contract.
No, it's not at all. And I mean, what is it now? 20 million. We've done this math a couple. What is it? 10% of the or 15% of the salary cap, right? Like we have to think of 20 million differently than we did before. So P. Will's gonna get more money than it feels like he should get. Guess what? How many dudes this offseason got more money than it felt like they should get? The second that they signed freaking what's his name in Houston?
Dillon Brooks,
both of them, him and Van Vliet.
Yeah,
everybody just looked at it and was like, "What y'all just had money? Y'all just had money to spend? Y'all just said we gotta go get something?"
That's literally what they did, bro. It's like a kid when you give them a couple of dollars and they just go and get everything. It's like, where'd you get wax candy from? They don't even make that no more. You just had to grab something.
You know what it was like? Houston felt this offseason felt like when you used to go in GameStop and your mama would be like, "You got $20," and so you just would grab anything.
Oh yeah,
just be like, just so I walked out of there with something. Then you put the game in, you be like, "Oh, this game is terrible."
So I did get that Spawn game because of that, and that Spawn game was actually fire. I got it used. I think I got it for like $15, bro. And I was like, "Hey, it's Spawn. I always rock with Spawn." I got that game home. I'm like, "Hey, this game is actually fire."
You know what game did me like that was I played what was it called? It was like the first. It was almost like the first Fortnite, but it was like a battle royale game. Like everybody could play in on it. Oh my God, Unreal Engine. Like it was literally just
that's what
Unreal Tournament. Tournament.
Yeah.
I ended up getting that on some like it looked cool. Like it's $15. My mama said I got that game home. I was like, this game lit.
Yeah.
That and Soul Calibur 3. What y'all know about that on PlayStation 2, bro? Soul Calibur 3 was elite. I had Taki every time.
You're stupid, bro. Let's get up out of here, man. We talking about video games. Welcome to Locked On Locked On Gamer.
Locked On Gamer would be a lit channel, and I would absolutely take a part in that. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Haize, don't hurt him too much out there, bro.
You're funny. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. Y'all know how to spell it at this point, man. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. We out here. Peace, y'all.
Peace. It's about to be Locked On Haize in a minute.